What's going on, YouTube? I decided that I wanted to do this video because as I was learning how to play Diablo 4, I was, doing searches online and seeing what was out there for beginner basic guides on how to play the game and, all the ins and outs of what the game is all about and, how to just play the game. And for the majority of the search that I found is that these supreme gamers and streamers of Diablo 4 don't go into the detail that a brand new person who's never played Diablo 4 before needs to know. So I thought I would give it a chance and do my own video because they always say that if you think you can do better, go right ahead and give it a try. So this is my attempt to do that. So without further ado, I'm going to try to attempt to break down the game in a way that it'll help brand new players who have never played Diablo 4 before. I'm talking about Vessel of Hatred here, as this is the expansion to Diablo 4. And we I have no script. I have no words that I'm gonna say, so you're just gonna get it raw and to the point, right? All right. So once you install it and get it all squared away, you're gonna press the D button to load up the game. Right. So here we are. On this first screen here is your landing page, is what I'd like to call it. It's where you can create new characters. You can see on the bottom right there, you can see the activities that Blizzard has set up for this particular Season 4 Diablo. And, you can start the game, and then you got your menus up at the top. Now, let's talk about a few things first. In this season, I think we're in Season 5 of Diablo. Diablo 4. When you first start out the game, there are two different ways that you can play it. You can play it as a seasonal character. Let me show you. See, there's a seasonal character, and then there's also an eternal character. Okay? And the difference between the two is that an eternal character is a character. First, let me go back. Okay, a seasonal character is a character who gets some extra things by doing the seasonal content. Every 3 months, Blizzard comes out with a new season, and they change the way some of the powers are. They change some of the gear. They change some of the aspects, and I will explain what those are. They change, they do a lot of different modifications in each of the seasons to try to make it better for the user. Now, when you start a brand new character, and that's where I want to go from, right? You go to the create character screen, okay? And in this season, in prior seasons, let me say this: in prior seasons, you would get all the characters on the screen at one time, right? At your character selection. But now they've changed it to where there's just a single character on the screen, and you get some biography stuff on the left, and then the playstyle on the right. And in Diablo 4, there's 6 different characters, as you can see at the very bottom, right? There's a Spiritborn, right? There's a Barbarian, a Sorcerer, my favorite, a Necromancer, a Druid, and then a Rogue, right? Each one has their own particular skills that you can play with, obviously. And each progression that you do allows you to get uh, different skills and abilities to be able to do multiple things, meaning, um, you could try to combine, uh, you have a particular build that you're going for, and a build is basically how you want to play your character. Like every person who plays games has a particular way of what they want to do when they play. Like there are some people who are just straight out melee uh, characters, and melee is where you are, excuse me, face to face with the enemies, and you're just smacking them with your hammer and your abilities. Um, Sorcerers like to play far away from the enemies and let their magic and other people who are doing melee take care of the enemies too. So it all depends on your playstyle and how you want to um, invest into your character and how you want to play it, right? So, with that in mind, the very first thing you're going to do is you're going to choose your character of what you want to do, right? So we got spirit, like I said, you got spiritborn, barbarian, sorcerer, necromancer, druid, and rogue. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pick a rogue here, and at the bottom you see it says conform class and back. Back takes you back a screen, of course, and then confirm class means you want to play this person or you want to play this class. All right. So a rogue is as cunning fighters. Rogues keep their enemies confused and off balance using speed, skill, trickery to defeat them. Okay, that's pretty cool. And then on the right side, they're resourceful. They use range or melee weapons to defeat enemies. They imbue weapons with poison, shadow, and or cold. Imbue weapons. Basically, you see the tip of the arrow on the character right now? See the tip of the arrow? It looks like it's frosty. That's what it means to be imbued, meaning you're applying those characteristics and those attributes to the arrow to be able to use it. So right now, that's a cold arrow, right? And then traps, place traps to poison, slow, or destroy enemies. So not only do you have the different types of arrows that you can use, you also have traps that can do the exact same thing, right? All right, so we're going to pick rogue here. Now, first selection, man or woman. I'm going to go woman, right? And then you've got 8 different, what are these called? These are called pre-builds that you can use, but you can also customize them. As you see at the bottom there, it says triangle. I'm playing on a PS5, so triangle is finalized, square is customized, and then circle is back. So you can go back and try to, if you decide you want to be a man or vice versa. Right. So I'm picking woman here, and then if you want to get a heads-up view of what they look like, you could select the one you want, or your selection, and just press X, and it'll change to what they start out to look like. You know, we'll go through each one of these just so you get an idea of what they look like. And you can customize these. These are just the basic templates that they have established for us to play. I'm gonna go with this one. Okay, and then I'm gonna hit square to customize, and then you've got all of these features that you can put into your character, right? So facial variations up at the top, it only gives you like 4 of them, and you can get closer to the person, to your character, if you press for me it's the right joystick, and if I press up it'll zoom in onto the character so that you can see how these variations actually apply to your character, right? So I've got one there, this is 2, 3, and then 4. And I'm liking 4, right? Now, for skin color, I mean, um, you can go a mixed color like that, where it's like a tannish and a white, or you've got solid colors where she could be a ghost, kind of like me, because I'm a pasty white guy, or a little bit darker, uh, kind of like that right there. And then eye color, of course, you can go red, give her red eyes, white eyes, purple, uh, crystal. Um, I like picking my colors based upon my wife. My wife has hazel eyes, so I'm gonna go with the green. I'll leave that there. And then if I'm a guy, I usually go um, not with this dark blue, but with the light blue because my eyes are actually gray and they don't have a gray here. So anyway, up at the top you've got L1 and R1. So you got face and body, hair, which we'll look at now. Okay, if we turn it around, that's one thing about Blizzard, is that they don't give you a lot of choices when it comes to hair for men. Most of these hairstyles are for women, and the exact same hairstyles for women are the hairstyles for the guys. So pretty much the guys are either bald or they can. There's which one? That one right there, the soldier's crop. Uh, so, but if you really wanted to go with something else, maybe you want your guy to have long hair. Anyway, that's just me. But anyway, let's see. I'm gonna pick, and as you notice, there's 21 different styles that you can go with. For this rogue, I'm gonna go. I actually like that. The champion's roots, the gilded braid, the soldier's crop, falling curls. Mm. All right, gathered locks. I see a lot of girls lately have those types of hairdos in real life, not just in games, but in real life. They have those pulled tresses, a warrior's top knot, young locks, plaited vines, drawn curtains. Oh, that one looks pretty cool. We could do that. Uh, Maven's crown, rider's mane, threshold wheat, hawkish plume. That looks pretty cool too. Yeah. And then full bloom. I know a few ladies with hairdos like that too. Anyway, I'm gonna go back to the one that I wanted, which was that guy, right? All right. So now facial hair. For the ladies, mostly this is gonna change the eyebrows. You've got drawn hooks, broken bows, wicked taper, thin ridge, dry brush. Yeah, that one looks pretty good, right? All right, and then hair color, of course, you've got all kinds of different types here. Turn around to the back and you can see. You can make it all white, make it red fire, which I kind of like that. Midnight ruby, dark velvet, straight up white. What was this color? Oh, black and white. Oh, it's the mix between the top. So you pick and choose which one you want. I actually like the red fire there. So I'm going to go with that. Now, at the bottom, you can see that you have the ability, again, I'm on a PS5, so if I hit triangle, I can actually see what her armor looks like. I can see what shield look like inside the armor, right? And then if I hold the right stick down and press the stick, it'll randomize everything for me. Using zoom with the right stick as well, and then right stick, if you hold it to the left or right, it'll rotate her, right? Alright, so we're gonna hide the armor. Let's go into accessories. This is for your makeup. So if you watch her ears and her nose, each of these will change. Oh, I'm sorry. That's full of jewelry. We're talking about makeup here. So for you ladies out there, um, this will be for your eyeshadow and your lips, right? So we've got nothing at all. Um, you can see it's darkened under her eyes and around her eyelids. You've got blight. You've got death mask. You got dark zealot, Chaldean rogue, or rouge, however you want to say that word. War stripe, and notice how her lips are purple. Charval beast, bleeding black, swamp witch, ashen ember, frozen sea, sharp shadow, and then under shadow. Right. So, I think I want to play with bandit smoke. Right. All right. So now we're talking about jewelry. There's 33 different choices that you can look at, and like I said, it's about looking at her ears, her lip, and her nose. Right. So if I go through, we'll start at 1. Right. So she's got nothing there. Right. Nothing in her nose, nothing in her ears, nothing in her lips. So heavy iron. You got both ears using the same jewelry for each ear. And then her nose, of course, if you could look, you could see the, what is that? What is that called? Um, there's a particular word that I'm looking for. Oh, my daughter has one of these. Gosh, I can't remember. Anyway, but you notice there's a nose ring in her nose. All right, iron tablet. So notice now, she's got an earring in her ear and then 2 in the top. If you look on the other side, there's just 1. Right. So you've got these options to look at. You try to pick which one you want. So you got raven skull. You got horseshoes. Helix cuff. Let's see, what was that? Oh, that's just on the ear there. Serpentine septum. That's the word that I was looking for. It's a septum ring. Right. All right. So you've got left hand twins. Got ringing steel. That one's not too bad, so I'm gonna keep 11 in mind. Those guys there, witch trophies. Brass cuffs. Left-handed horseshoe. Okay. Left-handed steel. Dripping fangs. Ripples of bass. Or brass, excuse me. I can read. I really can. Amber drops. Right-handed twins. Okay, so it's just in her right ear. Spikes and chains. Oh, that's pretty cool. Okay, pentacles. Knotwork charms. Rivets and septums. Tuning ring, excuse me. Okay, Sears bones. Runic hoops. Twin crescents. I think I might go with that. So 28 maybe. Deadly metal. She's got metal all in her everywhere. Crescent moons. It's a single crescent moon. Stone coins. Ivory spiral. An unbroken circle. Alright. I think I want to go with these twin crescents here. Right? And then, like I said, you can pick and choose what you like. Whatever you want your character to look like. Right? Alright, so markings. Each character, or I should say, each of these is like body paint. So if I go down to markings, and then select one. You'll notice that on her body she now has tattoos, right? So if I pick this one, get a little closer here, and you can pick which one you got. So it says 2 of 7. That means there's 7 rows of these, and there's 4 in each that you can pick from. You can go through them and choose what you like, because not only does it go on her body, but it goes on her face too. So some people like, you know, just a clean, just a clean look like this, but with markings on her body, or it could actually be up on the face. And then down here, you get to pick the color of the tattoo. So blue paint, white, green moss, red. Uh, they call it fresh blood. Purple and orange, teal, cyan, ink tattoo. Um, there's all kinds of designs. I think they're different for each class. I could be wrong on that. You just have to pick and choose what you like, what you don't like, for each one. Um, I'm going to go with no markings at all. Okay. So, and then finally, like I said, and if you do choose one of those markings, you can pick a color that belongs to it that you like. Um, I like the blue paint from time to time. I also like the red. And this ink tattoo is pretty good too. Alright, so now, finalize. When you get to this screen, this is how you start out your characters. And basically what that means is that, at the top it says start with Vessel of Hatred campaign completed. For the very first time when you play the game, you have to complete the campaign. There's no getting away from that. You got to play the campaign at least once before you can skip it. Now, I can select that and change the campaign state. Okay. And once you do complete the campaign, when you start new characters, you'll get this option. You'll get the option to start from the original campaign, which means it takes you all the way back to the original Diablo 4 content. Not the Vessel of Hatred, but before that. This is where you get introduced to. Now, here's a spoiler alert. You'll get introduced to Lilith and how you get the powers that you get, and the storyline behind it. And you get the lore of the entire story from beginning to end. I like playing this from time to time, just because I like the storyline of Diablo 4, right? So the one below it, start with Vessel of Hatred campaign. Basically what that means is that it gets you through the first part of the game, meaning you have killed Lilith, and this is the aftermath. And I don't want to spoil it too much for you because you're beginners, so I'm just going to leave it at that. Like I said, you'll come to know all the characters as you play through the campaign and do the quests that are associated with it, right? And then, of course, the bottom one is start with Vessel of Hatred campaign completed. This won't become available until you complete the campaign from beginning to end. Okay, you have to complete it on your very first character. Okay, so I'm going to do start with original. Okay, now, next part. We are in, there's 2 different gameplay options here, right? One's seasonal and one's hardcore. If I uncheck seasonal here, it will put this character into the Eternal Realm, meaning the Eternal Realm will not have uh, the Realm Walkers. In this season, for season 5, they introduced Realm Walkers, which are, they look like turtles to me. And basically, what you do is you and a group of people will take down this Realm Walker. And what you'll do is once that Realm Walker goes down, he opens up a portal. You go through the portal, and it's kind of like a mini dungeon. And a dungeon is kind of like an area where you can do where you kill enemies and you get treasures and stuff like that, right? So, in essence, what happens is once you go into that portal, you'll get dropped into a dungeon. You'll run this dungeon, and at one point, you'll get to choose the type of materials or equipment or gold that you want to go for throughout the rest of the dungeon. Um, that's in this season. Next season, it'll probably be something totally different. But the difference between seasonal and eternal is that if you choose seasonal, you'll get to go through these things. You get to encounter creatures twisted by Mephisto's hatred. You'll slay the realm walkers to seek seething realms, and then you'll delve into seething realms for powerful buffs. Okay, they introduced um, this item called an opal, and these opals give you a big boost to your exp that's gained. Your exp, your gold, and your material drops, as well as your equipment drops. Okay, but that's besides the point. We're talking about beginning stuff here, right? So the difference between seasonal and eternal is that in seasonal, there's extra things that you can do within the game. In eternal, these aren't there. It's just you playing the game, running dungeons, running Hellfire or Hell Tides, and we'll get into all that. And just playing the game as if nothing extra was put into it, right? 95% of the people that I talk to, they play seasonal characters first because after the season, your characters get dropped into Eternal anyway. So it's best to try to go get this stuff during the season, and then you get to use it in the Eternal realm once you get there. Now, there are some people out there that like to play hardcore. Hardcore um, hardcore characters are characters that if they die once, you don't get the character back. So you have to be on your game and know exactly how to play your character and be cautious at times when you're going through all these dungeons, because going through the dungeons and playing the game, because if you die once, you lose the character. So I know a couple of guys who had characters that were level 100 and had like all kinds of great equipment. They died once by not paying attention, and boom, they lost all of that. So you got to be careful. Play it if you like, if that's your cup of tea, but it's not mine. So I don't play hardcore that much. So I'm gonna select seasonal here, and then last, of course, is your name. This little dial here on the right is a random name generator. So if you select it and just press X, or again for me, I'm on PS5. If I press X, it gives me all kinds of names that I could choose from. But I've got one in mind. So I'm going to call her Crisera. Right? So I made my selection. I hit done. And then you basically start the game. Okay. Now, the next part of this is you have to select your difficulty. Each each of the difficulties that you see will give you more gold, more items, better items, and let's see, gold items and uniques, as well as mythic uniques. Again, we'll get into all that. For very new players, for brand new players, I would suggest starting out with normal. It'll give you a good introduction to the game itself, the mechanics of the game, what each of the buttons do, how you can set things up the way that you want to play. And, once you get familiar with it, you can think about changing your difficulty level to try to start getting, extra stuff. So just going from normal to hard, it'll start giving me 75% more experience as well as 75% more gold. Once you get to the hard, you jump up into expert. And if you jump up into expert, and notice that, these guys down here, from expert all the way over to torrent 4, they're all locked. And what you have to do is you have to complete the prologue in order to unlock the expert tier, right? The expert difficulty. Penitent, you have to complete the original campaign before you can even get into Penitent. And Penitent gives you 75% more experience and 75% more gold, right? So then Torment takes a little while to get into. Just to let you know from the beginning, you have to conquer the pit of the Artificer at tier 20 at level 60. So you got to get your character to level 60. You got to have good enough gear to get past tier 20 for the pit, and we will talk about those. We'll talk about all that when we interact with it. And then, so yeah, you gotta work your way up to it. You can't just jump straight into tier 2 and expect to do well, right? Or tier 1 even. All right, so tier 2 gives you 400% more gold and experience, and then you get it increases your drop rate for your legendary, unique, and mystic uniques. And basically, what you're going for, the end game of Diablo, is to try to get mythic uniques for your character, and all 4 slots, or not 4. I think it's 8 or 9 slots. And we'll go through it here in a second. But notice also that once you get into the torment tiers, notice that line at the bottom that says your armor is reduced by 250 and resistance is by 25%. Yeah, they make it challenging for you, right? So, but for all intents and purposes, start on normal to begin with, right? So I'm gonna confirm. And then you get the introduction of how it all
Sanctuary was
works.
never meant
Here we go.
for humankind. It was forged as a refuge from the war between the high heavens and the burning hells. Instead, it became a new battleground in this eternal conflict. A secretive group called the Haradrim has kept mortals safe. But now this once powerful order is a husk of what it was. And Sanctuary's ancient creators have returned to claim the hearts of humankind. This is the story of their downfall.
Now look, I don't know how long this video is going to be, so we'll just see how far it takes us. And I've enjoyed the game immensely. I think I've put in over 400 hours playing so far. And I'll probably play a lot more because I've got some friends that I play with online, so It's a fun game.
I should find better shelter before I freeze.
All right, so now that you've gotten past that part, let's talk about the screen that's just come up, right? All right, so in the very top right-hand corner, it says Ice Howl Tega. Basically, that's your location. 12 o'clock is the time. That is the current time of where you are. Meaning, I'm in the central time zone, so it's noon right now as I'm playing this. Now, when you first play the game, the mini map that you see at the top right is not going to be completed. Okay, you're just going to have a little bitty, a little sliver of land showing, because what you'll have to do is you'll have to go through and map this entire area. As you walk through the map, it'll become, it'll, what's the best way to phrase this? It will become unfoggy. It'll defog as you walk around the area, right? As for me, when I do the maps and stuff like that, I actually do the outsides. I start with the outsides first and then work my way inside from there. That's just the way I play. You can, you know, front end guns a-blazing and do as you please, but I like to do the entire area that I'm in to make sure that I don't miss anything, like gold, items, events, and things like that. Okay, so there's that. If you'll notice, there is what looks like a sun and an exclamation point in the middle of it, right? Okay, it's the same symbol that you see where it says Dusk of the Mountain. It's that symbol to the right. Okay, that symbol up at the top in the minimap is the direction you need to go in order to fulfill that quest. So basically, Dusk of the Mountain is the quest that you're on, and then it says find shelter in a nearby town, which is basically the objective of what you want to do, right? Okay, so that explains that. Let's talk about the bottom. Okay, this is your, we call it the HUD. It's your heads up display. Basically, it gives you details about your character and all of the abilities that are associated with your character and how you have them set up. All right, so this is a rogue. So her resource is the purple ball. So her resource is basically, oh, I can't do it right now because you got to get the second one. Um, Basically, it's like your mana, or the big expenditure potions that you want to use. Not potions really, but it's more of, like I said, this is all raw. I don't have a script. Um, it's basically like a mana pool. It's where you get your big abilities from. And that's what they use in order to perform them. Some characters, they start out it being full. Other characters, you have to fill it up yourself by killing enemies. Like I think the barbarian does that, and then the spiritborn does that as well. Okay. The flashing 12 that you see are the number of um, exp- uh, skill points that I can put into this character right now, because I've gone through several of the campaigns, or not the campaigns, but several of the areas, and I've increased their renown, which is basically the reputation of each of the areas that we'll get into here in a second. I have 12 extra points that I can start out with when I start a brand new character. Okay. Um, do you see the circle with the foot? That's basically a way to dash out of the way of things. This is helpful when you got, like 20 different enemies around you and you need to get away from them. You just press circle and it'll dash you uh, from that area of where they are, right? The red, of course, is your hit points. If that goes all the way down, you die. But because we're not playing hardcore, you'll actually come back to life and you'll start from a checkpoint. Okay. 10 of 10. When you start the game, you won't be at 10 of 10. These are the number of potions that you have to use. This increases as you increase your renown with each of the areas. And I'll explain a little more when I get into the maps, right? All right, so the two green squares that you see, in order for me to explain what those are, I need to go into the main menu here. Okay, that's known as the Butcher's Curse and the Mother's Blessing. Right now, um, they're having a Halloween event going on, and that's where these two buffs come from. Is that the Butcher's Curse is the burning Butcher's influence seems to be spreading out of the infernal hordes and into sanctuary dungeons. Be careful what shrines you interact with right now. Okay. Basically, what all that means is that inside the infernal hordes, which is a place that you can go to do upgrade glyphs and upgrade your items. When you go into there, or if you're in dungeons and you actually get a shrine, which is a really tall obelisk looking item or location that has like money or power or things of that nature on top of it. Once you take it, it'll give you something different that you're not expecting because it's Halloween themed. Okay, and then Mother's Blessing. The fleeting gift of Mother's Blessing grants a 35% boost to experience and a 50% boost to gold. So right now, if we weren't in the Halloween season, this wouldn't be there and we wouldn't get these extra boosts to our experience in gold, right? So we wouldn't have 35% boost experience or 50% boost in gold. Those would be gone. So they're giving us additional experience points and gold just because of this Halloween event. So that's what those are. We'll get more into the menu here in a bit. Um, the brown uh, the brown triangle, or is that a sideways square? What is that? The diamond, I should say. Um, you'll see it says 1, right? That's my level. So this character is a level 1. The number below it, in this season, they introduced, or they didn't introduce, they actually redesigned the Paragon boards. And again, I'll get into this a little bit later too. The number that you see is 157. That is my max on one of my characters that I have right now. Basically, what that means is that the Paragon number transfers to every character that you make. So you don't have to go back and redo it again. So once you hit level 60, at least this is how I think it works. Okay? Once you hit level 60, you don't have to go back and redo all 300. They're just going to give you all 300. I'll have to verify that, but we'll see what happens. Right? Alright, so below that are these 6 abilities. And as you progress, you'll get more abilities for your character that you can choose from. I've got 6 different locations, which is triangle, R1, L2, R2, X, and square. Okay, so those are there. And then if you see the horse head, and then it's got a directional pad, and it's highlighted right. It's just to the left of the triangle. That is my mount. When you start out playing the game, I think just after Act 2, or just after Act 1, you'll get the ability to get a mount, and that's how you actually summon your mount. Is if I press right on a D-pad, my mount shows up, right? Okay, and then on the mount, you'll see that the abilities have changed at the bottom, right? So if I hit circle, it'll speed up the horse, right? So now it's going quicker. If I hit square, it does an attack as you come off of the horse, and then if I hit triangle, right, I just come off the horse with no attack. Okay, so you've got those abilities there. Now, as for the speed, you only have three chances to increase the speed. I mean, you could do all 3 at once. Here, let me show you again. Okay, you see there at the bottom, just to the left of the circle ability, you see that they look like horseshoes with lightning bolts through them. You only get 3 of those. Basically, once you do the third, if you try to do it again, it ain't gonna allow you to do it. But they will regenerate over time for you. Okay. So there's that. I think we've talked about everything on the bottom. Oh, where it says number 1, back at that diamond, the brown diamond that you see, that bar is going to fill up, and you'll see how close you are to your next level. I think it's broken down in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, it's broken down into 10 sections, and then, like I said, it'll show you how close you are to your next level, right? All right, so now we need to go through the menus. The first menu I want to talk about is this one. All right, you're going to see a lot of information here. Basically what it does, and how I got to this menu is on PS5, there's the big button in the middle, and I just press that, and that's how it comes up. I don't know how you do it with PS or with Xbox One, and I don't know how you do it on computer. But for me, it's the big button in the middle. Um, you get this map, and this map shows you anything and everything you want to know about where everything is. Um, and I think the best way that I want to explain this is we're going to start at the top left here. Remember, I was telling you about seasons? Well, we are in season 5 of Diablo 4. And as you go through the seasons, you can purchase the Battle Pass. And the Battle Pass allows you to get uh, these cosmetics as well as these season blessings. The season blessings, when you go into it, allow you to get extra bonuses to certain items that you're looking for, right? So the Urn of Aggression is a boost to XP after killing monsters. Urn of Spoils is a boost to a chance of a legendary item from Spoils of Hell chests. Urn of Curiosity, and so on and so forth, right? So basically, it gives you boosts when you get these ashes. And how you get these is you just play the game. And as you play it, these will increase. And as you get each one, um, you'll be able to select it and use it for your characters. Um, these are portals. They've got portals for you that you can choose from. They've got different things that you could equip for your card preview. And I'll show you some of these things here in a bit. The best ones that I like is sometimes to show uh, uh, cosmetics, but they also have stuff for your mount too. Like this one has mount armor for its ultimate prize, and there's 90 of these. So you know it's gonna take a while to get through it all. I think it probably took me probably 3 or 4 days of playing. You'll also get platinum, which will allow you to go to the shop at the top. Um, the as you'll see at the top there, it's right next to game. Um, you'll be able to collect the platinum and try to pick or purchase cosmetics as well as mounts and equipment that you want for your characters, right? Okay, so hopefully I've explained that part. We'll talk about the map a little more. Um, this first area that I'm in is called Fractured Peaks, as you see at the top. This particular area for Fractured Peaks is called Desolate Highlands. Now, there are other areas, and again, as I was saying earlier, when you first play the game, all of this won't be unlocked. You'll have to go explore and unlock it for yourself. Okay? But each area has 6 different things that you need to do, or you can do for each one of them. For your very first character, I would say take the time to go get all these things because you'll understand your character more. You'll understand how everything works. You'll understand the mechanics of the game. You'll understand the movements and how it all works. So I would suggest taking the first area, which is Fractured Peaks, going through and finding all of these things. Now, renown. We were talking about renown earlier. It's basically the reputation for the area of uh, of that particular area that you're working in, right? So if you see, it says renown 650 of 31. I think that says 50. I just got new player glasses, so you have to bear with me. Yeah, 3150. What does that mean, right? If you see very far right, it says claim rewards. If I press triangle, this is where you can get bonuses for the renown or experience for each of the areas. So for Fractured Peaks, I can claim um, bonus XP, 100 gold plus bonus XP for 1,000 gold, right? Ooh, I just saw the fact that I'm almost done with the first hour of this. The bottom skills, the skill plus one, or the one skill point, and then the one potion capacity. Remember how I was telling you that I had 10 of these? Well, the reason why is because I have uh, completed the renown for each of these areas to be able to get 10. All right. So, well, as I'm noticing that I've only got like 4 minutes left, I think I'm going to stop this one and start another video. That way we can talk more about the game and, everything that you see. Okay. So I hope this helps people. And I'm going to keep going, give you more insights into it. You may get 3-4 hours. This is the first video I've really made for YouTube. I just thought it would be fun to do, and plus, I wanted to see if I could do something like this and try to help people out who have been, looking for a basic introduction to the game and how and what everything is. And what I'll do on the next one is I'll talk about more about this map here and what you see, as well as the stuff at the top, and then this menu over here on the right hand side. Okay, it's basically your journal of all of your quests that you're going to be doing. Okay, so anyway, that's the first one, and I look forward to talking to you guys again. Thanks.